Hola from the west side. It is me, DCThePurpleDiva, and welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Friday, y'all, and happy 3-day weekend for hopefully most of us if you're here in the United States. It is the last weekend of summer, even though summer's not over for another couple of weeks. But it's the last weekend of summer, and it's going to start to get cooler, at least in most parts of the country. But it's kind of hot right now. So we may have a little summer going on for a little while longer. I am so glad it's a 3-day weekend, y'all. But as always, y'all know I got to do my house cleaning at the beginning. So I am actually, just got to make sure I turn the volume down so we don't have a double take here. I'm going to share my own live out so folks know that I'm live. So let me do that. Let's see. Yeah, the music's a little lower now. Let's see. Hey, Matt. Let me just do this. Come on through for the Friday night chill. Friday night chill. All right, I posted. So, y'all, it's been a crazy couple of days. I think it was a crazy night last night. After, or maybe it was no, while I was on doing my live, we having us a nice, peaceful, chill live. And I was telling you guys about, a friend of mine who was leaving the black sector. Well, unfortunately, that same friend got ambushed on a panel last night, on her last night on YouTube. So this morning, as she promised, her channel has been deleted. And I'm kind of concerned because I think she's probably not going to go to another sector. I think maybe she's just not going to be on YouTube. It's just really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. And it's this, this BS that's been going on apparently for several years. And she didn't really have anything to do with it, but yet and still she got pulled into some BS. So I want to start out tonight talking about boundaries. Talking about boundaries. And I'm not just talking, I'm going to talk about them here on YouTube, obviously. But I think I want to talk about them in life in general. But let's start out with YouTube boundaries. Hey, AKA James. Long time no see. So, we all know that YouTube is a virtual, platform. Okay? And, unless we've actually met someone in real life to do collabs or did a meetup or whatever, for the most part, we don't know each other on here. And many people use their YouTube platforms just for enjoyment, but they may have their own. Hey, Joe. I thought I modded you, Joe. I thought I modded you. Let me see. There we go. All right, now you are. Yeah. Okay, now you're modded. I thought I had modded you, Joe. But yeah, let's talk about boundaries, and we're going to talk about boundaries first within in this YouTube environment because clearly some people don't have them, but a lot of us do. A lot of us have boundaries, and you're welcome, Joe. And you know, like I don't have my name out on YouTube. No, I don't use my name on here. I use DC. That's what I use. Um, the email address that is connected to my YouTube channel, although it is my personal email, also does not have my legal name on it. For obvious reasons, we're dealing with, you know, YouTube. The only place my legal name is, matter of fact, is on my Facebook account. Well, y'all know how Facebook works. They don't like people having nicknames and names that are not the names that are on their driver's license, etc. But on YouTube, you can call yourself whatever you want. You know, I don't give out a lot of information on here. I very rarely share my email address. I basically share my social media as ways for people, to be in contact with me. And I try to leave YouTube on YouTube. You know, that's the kind of boundary that I'm trying to have with it. Now, of course, I'm trying to, grind out my channel to get my watch hours, and I'm getting close to that freaking 4,000 hours. And, and once I get to the 4,000 hours and God willing, get the channel monetized, I probably will not be going live every night. And but I will still be going live because I like going live. But, I have to keep YouTube, as in a certain section, so to speak, because I have other, things in my life. I obviously, being on YouTube, I don't want that to negatively affect other areas of my life. So I try to have a balance and try to have boundaries. But a lot of people don't have those boundaries when it comes to YouTube. And to me, that can be problematic because I think in a lot of situations, that's the reason why we have so much stuff going on where people are getting doxxed, their family information is getting out. It gets really kind of crazy, when none of that stuff should be involved. And again, to me, that's about boundaries. Um, so, let's talk about boundaries in real life too. So I'm going to give an example of an area where your girl DC is finding a challenge with her boundaries being respected. So, as you guys all know, I have an adult son who is disabled. Hey, Marilyn. And because he is a disabled adult, I try, let me just say that. I try to do co-parenting that normally you wouldn't even have to do, because once a kid is grown, they're grown. And, at that point, even though you may be doing some parenting, it's pretty much hands off. You know, if you're not dealing with someone who's on the autism spectrum or has a disability. But in the case with my son, he is disabled. And so his father and I are not together. We've been divorced for a long time. Um, and, but sometimes he, well, I would just say sometimes he crosses certain boundaries that probably shouldn't be crossed. And it's a delicate situation that I'm obviously going to have a conversation about. But let's talk about boundaries in co-parenting. We'll just put out a general one. Generally, when you're doing co-parenting, there should be certain boundaries. And the boundaries should be that, for the most part, the dealings that the two of you have should be basically around the child, be they an adult or an actual child. But sometimes everyone doesn't get that memo. And, or, I don't know, maybe they don't know how to, co-parent. So again, we're talking about boundaries. So like the established boundaries, I feel, especially if one or both of the parties, the parents, are in new relationships, is that keep it to the kids and don't take it any further than that. And if you cross lines like, I don't know, calling at inappropriate times, um, popping popping by to check on your kid without really, making sure that it's okay with the custodial or, parent. Those are things that probably, or at least in most situations, can cause issues. So I'm talking to myself, not just everybody else. So I think the best situation in the ideal situation is to have a conversation with the other party and come to some agreement. And be it a written agreement or a verbal agreement, but come to a clear understanding about as to, you know, what the expectations and, what the things are that you need to deal with each other about, and make it very clear to both parties involved. Who's that? Hey, Harry. Oh, Hanny. I'm so blind. Hey, Hanny. I'm blind. So, and then here's another one. Another place where you should have boundaries. In the workplace. In the workplace. So I know a lot of people, well, a lot of people try to have general rules about not fraternizing in the office, and most companies have these rules in place. And the reason why they have these rules in place, obviously, is because it could be a very sticky situation if, I don't know, you're with someone that's in the office and then you guys break up, but you both still work there. And it becomes an uncomfortable situation for all parties involved. So that's another place where you don't want to you know, mix business with pleasure, so to speak. And I know sometimes people meet their spouses or significant others at work, but typically that's not the ideal place to be hunting for a husband or wife. And again, we're talking about boundaries. You know, you try to keep your business life one place, your personal life separate, because sometimes you don't want to, doo-doo where you, where you eat. Hey, just chilling. Yeah, it can be very uncomfortable. It can be very uncomfortable. So that's another place where you definitely want to have boundaries. And then, I mean, a lot of times, some of us, you know, need to, like, have personal boundaries. Like with me, I have like a personal space issue that I have to deal with my son, because he doesn't respect those types of boundaries. He just doesn't want you in his personal space if he don't want you there. But he doesn't understand that boundary that we all have. You know, we all have this invisible wall around us that we keep up, and we only let who we want inside that wall. And so that's another type of, not necessarily physical boundary, but it's a boundary that, you know, we all put around ourselves, like our own little security fence. You know, but in talking about, not, messing around in the workplace, to me, and this is just my personal opinion about it, y'all, that's caused a lot of problems for content creators. Because, you know, for all intents and purposes, this is a workplace. If you're putting out content, even if it's your hobby, it's kind of like a little gig, you know, and people going between, I don't know, the dating via YouTube, it's very problematic to me. It's problematic from the standpoint that at least a lot of the situations that I've seen do not work out very well. And then you have people who are now on, attacking the other YouTuber, um, putting their personal business out on YouTube. And there's been several situations where that happened. Clearly, you know, I feel that maybe some people need to treat YouTube like a workplace, you know, and not a place to find somebody to be with. It's just kind of that. I can't get with that. I just don't even understand that one. It just, to me, seems like it will be a natural boundary. I mean, I don't know. We don't know these people. We've never met them. Hey, Almond Eyes. We've never met them. I'm like, so why would I don't know, why would I, as a male or a female, go and sleep with somebody that that either I flew to or who flew to me or however? I don't get that. Hey, maybe I'm old. I'm probably old. That's probably what it is. I'm just old, you know. And, when I was when I was young, this internet stuff was just starting. It was just starting like when I got married. Yeah. And but for this generation, I guess it's nothing. And I guess for a lot of people here on YouTube, it's nothing. You know, that's a boundary that is no boundary for them. It's kind of crazy to me. It just is. Not to mention, you know, isn't I mean, doing the stuff on the internet, you can get catfished. You can get catfished. You see what you guys are saying? Hey, let's learn about Crystal. Crystal, I've heard you've been having some fire lives. I've only caught the replay of a couple of them. I have to catch up on your lives, Crystal. Hey, uppity. It's just where people are. I know, but it's uppity. It's just weird to me. It's just weird to me that this is how people meet people to date. I guess. You know. I guess I'm still old school when it comes to that. I'm just old school about that. But you know, the boundary thing, it can be a sticky situation. I'll let y'all know as I make progress on that boundary with my son's dad about him just, yeah. I'll let y'all know. Because he is my ex-husband for a reason. It's not weird I know it's not weird to millennials. I know it's not. It's just, you know, and I'm not like, although y'all may not be able to tell this, I'm I was not the most outgoing person. You know, I used to be really, really shy. And so maybe it's just easier for them to make those first connections, you know, through cyberspace. Maybe it's just normal because there's always been the internet as far as they're concerned. It's always existed. Millennials, you know, like my son, the internet has always existed. It has existed his entire life, you know. So I get it from that standpoint, but it's, for me, it just seems like, I'll just say, in this space, in this YouTube space, it appears to be very, very problematic for the most part. Yeah, you have some that it's great, but then when they break up, it's. I'll give an example of a big YouTuber where this happened. Dama Wilson. You guys know Dama Wilson. Remember, she used to have a channel, and it was Damo and Chrissy. And when they broke up, it was months of dragging. Months of dragging. You know. And I mean, she's, when I say she's one of those YouTubers, she's a black YouTuber. She's black. You know, but she had like a relationship. She was in a relationship with a girl at the time. She originally had her channel by herself. Then she brought her girlfriend onto the channel. Then, she blew her girlfriend up. Then, old girl left her after Damo had a kid. And then there was a dragging. Then Damo came out as being, I'm telling you guys the whole story in Cliff Notes version. Then Damo came out as being bisexual. Now I believe she has a boyfriend. Okay. So, and she wants to have another kid. But I'm saying that all to say that the relationship that she had on here, when it broke up, it was, let me just say, half of Black YouTube was talking about it when that happened. A lot. I didn't even realize that she had so many. There were so many people that were like invested in that relationship because they were together for a few years. You know, but see, in their situation, see, they met. Dama was already on YouTube, and then she brought her person onto YouTube. It wasn't a situation of two YouTubers that met on YouTube. You know, but we've seen some of those things work out, and then we've seen, the stuff where it just blows up. And, I'm not here looking for a man. I have a man. And even if I didn't have a man, I wouldn't be here looking for a man. I'd still find one offline. I never even tried doing the stuff. I never even did the online stuff. Even after I got a divorce, I didn't do it. And then because they even have like a Christian mingle thing for Christians. They have an online one if you practice Judaism. They even have one for Muslims. So they have them for religion. Then they have one for people over 50. They have several for people over 50. So I know it's a thing. It's a thing nowadays, And see, me, I'm one of those people that I'm at the end of the boomers, the beginning of the Gen Xers. So I'm in that period. With basically, the Gen Xers are, my generation. We are the parents of the Gen Xers and the millennials. Those are our kids. And because my son was born he's a 90s baby. And he came of age in the millennium. Well, but uppity, it really depends on how, for some people, it depends on how you treat it. Some people run their YouTube channels as a business. So for them, this is it is a workplace. Now, when I'm doing my videos and stuff and everything, this is a hobby right now that is going to be a business. And I'm branding it because it's not going to because see, what I'm doing isn't just about YouTube, but for a lot of people, it is a hobby, and it is like a social media platform and everything. But to me, the YouTube going back and forth between content creators is probably just, I think, I know people do it on Facebook all the time. People always drop it in people's inboxes and stuff, and they do it on Instagram. I know. I ignore them. I used to get all kinds of crazy stuff. I was so glad when they separated the your messenger from your actual Facebook, because I didn't want these creepy people to know when I was actually online, so they could be typing him, you know. And I know him. I'm one of those people who went in there and had to I think I disabled the feature so that people can't call me through Facebook. I need to figure. Yeah, yeah. I think there's a way you can disable it so people can't call you and can't see a number. Yeah, it is. It is about picking. It's a lot of pick a side around here. And here's the thing. Okay, in the picking sides, that's how can you pick a side when you don't even when most of the time you don't even know what the hell is going on, and you don't have nothing to do with it. You know, there's just been a bunch of craziness going on this week, though, in a whole bunch of different sectors within the black sector. You know, that the madness that went on overnight, y'all. Yeah, I was. I think I was live when it was going on, and I went and saw that something was on, and I scrolled back, and I think it was. I don't know how long that live was. Somebody said it was like an 8-hour live. I don't know, because I fell asleep. But I was, hey Willie, it was just a really sad situation to see KK get ambushed like that on her last day in the sector. You know, the whole situation just, you know, I'm at the point where I'm just wondering. I'm like, can this just stop? But I know it's not. But unfortunately, it appears that some good content creators are being run off of the, out of here. Yeah, Almond Eyes. When I came in, it was still going on. I don't subscribe to the channel, so I did not jump down into the chat. But I was listening before it ended, and I just scrolled back and listened to KK. You know, but some of the stuff that I heard in there, I mean, and like, here's the thing. I'm friends with people, or I support some of the people that were in that chat, you know? And it's, some people want to feel that they need to take sides in this because, they were involved, but I wasn't. I wasn't, you know? But I watched all this stuff going on, and my feeling is Your side, my side, and then somewhere in the middle is the truth. You know? Let me see what you're saying. What you say, just chilling? Exactly, Matt. I stay out of it as well. I mean, it's if someone's mad at me because I'm in a chat, I can be in any damn chat I want to be in. So, you going to bed? Okay. Yeah, it's somewhere in the middle. I mean, I'm the the way that I look at it. I don't I don't think that there's too many innocent parties involved in this. I don't think that there's too many innocent parties involved in this. However, I don't think the KK deserved what happened. She didn't have nothing to do with that how they were coming at her, and it's like they were coming at her because they couldn't go at the person they wanted to go at. You know what I mean? And I, you know, I feel bad about that, but I know how to. She and I are going to be talking about some stuff that has nothing to do with that. You know, because I'm going to have some conversation with her about autism, simply because of she lives in an entirely different area of the country from me, but she lives in the area of the country that I'm from. And I want to find out about how the autism services are in that part of the country. No, well, see, what she said yesterday in her final upload is that she is going to another sector, but she's not going to. But it's not going to be the same name. So unless you just happen to be in that other sector, you may or may not see her. You know, but DC is all over YouTube. Okay, because this is a mom blog, lifestyle. I do lifestyle stuff in my vlogs and stuff, and I talk about autism. So in the algorithm, I'm considered a mom blog. People and blogs, that's what they have me under. And I'm considered a mom blog because I'm an autism mom. However, as I told y'all before, I know how to knit, I know how to crochet, I know how to sew, I paint, I draw, I sing, I make music. Okay? So I'm in a whole bunch of other sectors. So maybe I will see her because, she does a lot of stuff that's more artistic. So I hope that I will run across her when I'm over in that particular sector, working on my artsy stuff. You know, there are a lot of good people on this platform. Unfortunately, there's a lot of ugliness that is going on this platform. And y'all, I've already said how I felt about when kids get pulled into stuff, be they under the age of 18 or be they over the age of 18. If they ain't have nothing to do with it, then they ain't have nothing to do with it. If you got something, if somebody has something about that they don't like about me, then they deal with me. What would you bring my son into it for? That don't even make no sense. that's the part that really bothers me. I mean, people going back and forth, you know, on here. Okay, you know, the name calling and stuff. I'm not really into that stuff. You know, and I'm not really into going back and forth. I'm not that person. However, I'm from DC, and I didn't grow up in the nice part. My dad is a doctor, but we ain't live in the suburbs until I was in high school. Okay, and I ain't no punk. So if somebody come at me, then they'll find out. Now won't they? Because I'm not about the drama. I ain't about all that stuff. It's so it's so juvenile to me. Um, and it's sad that grown folk are doing this stuff, and it's sad that that's unfortunately what they see the black portion of YouTube as. And I'm not just talking about small channels, because we all know that we saw a whole bunch of mess going on between some of the bigger tubers, you know, especially when during the time when we were all locked up. Man, I was just like, these people need to get outside, because they just at home finding stuff to pick at each other about, you know. But this other situation, this stuff was going on before the corona. This is like something that's just been going on for a couple of years, and it seems that apparently that it involves multiple sectors. But hey, that part of what I heard last night seemed very, very unbelievable to me. But then again, I ain't never been over in that other sector. Doesn't even interest me. And, you know, but some of the stuff that was said last night was not the same thing that was said about that particular incident that involved all of these other people that happened, you know, when the doxing started a couple of years ago. The way it was said in that chat last night was completely different from how it has been presented for the last year that I've heard about it. So again, you know, I don't even know. I don't know. But I think it was horrible that they went at KK like that. But she held her own, and you know, once he got to a point where she saw that it was pointless, she just got off, you know, rather than being disrespected. But one of the things that was obvious to me when that situation was going on is that the male was in the background saying all kinds of foul stuff to this chick, to her. And any man who is supposedly an advocate for women, even if you don't like something that a woman has done, you're not going to be calling her a B or a garden tool. You know? Because I'm that chick that I'm only going to be so many of your bees. Me. I'm only going to be your bee so many times before you see the other side of DC. You know, I'm saved, y'all, but I ain't that saved. You know. But then again, you know, she was better than me because she kept calm. She wasn't disrespectful, even though she was being disrespected. You know, and you know, she stood 10 toes down in her truth. That's the part that I just can't, I don't get. Dudes that will come with smoke at a female but have no smoke for a man. It's like, that's, how do you think that anyone is going to respect you as a man if that's how you present yourself? How do you think anybody, you know, and maybe that's how they do stuff where dude come from. But that's not how they do stuff where I come from. Calling a woman a bee or a garden tool will get your butt whipped. Your ass whipped. And it will definitely get you cussed out. I didn't say cursed out. I said it'll get you cussed out. So, you know, but it's crazy that people are talking like this to people that they don't know on YouTube. And then in the next breath, talking about how they're for women. Make it make sense to me. But again, this is not a channel that I am subscribed to, you know. And I'm just a little YouTube channel that technically is in a whole different sector, except for when I'm live streaming. You know, because I definitely don't put out, as Joe called it, barbecue beef sector content. I don't do that. You know, my content on my channel is generally about something that I consider myself a subject matter expert on: autism and caregiving for an autistic adult or child. So, yeah, you know, and I know a lot of stuff about a whole lot of other stuff. But I just let it come out as it comes out to you guys, you know? So I hope y'all enjoy my talk show, the Not So Random Chat, because that's basically what it is most of the time when I'm up here. That's exactly the point, Matt. There was no reason to come at her like that. None. None at all. You know. I was busy over here doing my own daggone live stream, producing my own damn content over here, you know. But everybody's been telling the same stuff. I mean, they keep going back to these different dates about everything and all of this stuff. And, as far as, I guess, one side is concerned, if you were in the chat, then you've picked a side. No, not really. I'm listening. because I don't have nothing to do with none of this stuff. But I'm definitely going to listen to some of the stuff that's happening, because here's the thing. Some of the people that were involved, that did get doxxed, I know them as, other content creators. And me being around is to find out the truth. And for the most part, their stories have been consistent. Some people's stories have changed, or some people have had no story at all. But, again, not my issue. But I don't like how when people who I consider to be cool and who actually have good content, get dragged about some bull. Y'all almost had me cursing up in here. Because I try not to. Just because I want ads to actually be able to run on my daggone channel. So I try not to. But I know all the words. And every once in a while, I'll give y'all one. But trust and believe, if someone ever took me there on this platform, I would probably just be seeing red and be saying some stuff, and y'all be just like, what? Wait, is that DC? But again, the only thing would take me to the red zone is somebody saying something about my son or doing something to my son. Yeah, I get kind of crazy when it comes to him. I get kind of crazy when it comes to him. I try to be sweet. I am. I am. I try to be good natured. I try to have a good disposition. And I try to see everybody in a good light. But, as I said, I wasn't, nor am I now, a subscriber to the channel that this foolishness was going on. And I've said before, my issue with the content creator of that channel. I have a problem with anyone who goes around deciding, when they're going to insult people, that everybody has autism, everybody is rides on the short bus, everybody has a developmental disability. If if you're bagging on them, it's like, you know what? If you're so intelligent with your words and stuff, find another one. Find something else to call them. Don't call them retarded. Don't call them developmentally challenged or anything when you're talking to these other YouTubers on here and everything, and putting them into a category with with people who have autism, who for the most part are some of the most brilliant people on the planet. So that I have a problem with that, because this same person claimed that they used to work with people on the spectrum. Yet you go around here talking that kind of saying stuff like that. So I don't have time for that. you know. And here's something about DC that y'all may not know. Growing up in DC, I learned a whole lot of Black history that people wouldn't know that lived in other parts of the country. That's why when I came to California, it was odd to me when the Black people here, you know, deal, ethnic clothing and wearing your hair natural and all that stuff. It was a fad here. You know, they weren't really to that. They didn't even know like all three verses of the Negro national anthem, which I had to learn growing up. I mean, you know, even though I went to Catholic school, because I was in that particular city, yeah, we got good education on Black history. You know, so I don't need to come to YouTube for somebody to give me the history of our people. Oh, and when I was in college, I also studied African history, you know, about, civilizations over on the continent. But that's just me, you know. I didn't just come into my Blackness. I've been it, my whole life, you know. And just because I identify as Afro-Latina don't mean nothing. Y'all see my face? That's a Black woman. And the Cuban part of my family is Black. You know, we black, that. Anything that's not Black is not close enough for it to make a difference. You know, that's just what it is. I mean, y'all know, for generally, and I don't know, this might just be me, but I guess for me, because my dad was so involved in the civil rights movement, that, I have to, how else can I be? I mean, his generation was one way. Our generation, we have to understand that the way we have to handle things today is completely different from the way that they handled it back in the 50s. Yet and still, I'm a Black woman, and I don't have no problem with any part of that. Yeah, y'all remember that? What was that? What was that movie that was in CB4 or something? Was Chris Rock and Alan Payne was in that? Yeah, Alan Payne did that part. I'm blackity blackly black. Yeah, he was that song. It was a song in that movie, y'all. Y'all know. And a matter of fact, since we've been in quarantine, I saw that movie again. That movie was stupid, though. It was stupid, but it made a point. It was a parody of that particular time in rap. That movie was hilarious. I'm sorry. Yeah, it just came in my head when I started saying that. It just came in my head. All right, I'm going to come on camera, you guys, because we are coming up on the 1 hour mark. And y'all know David's about to bump me off the camera. So let me come on real quick before he jumps over here. Hey, everybody. Here comes David. Come on. See, I told y'all he's going to knock me off the camera. Say hi.
Hi.
So you guys, I do have another video coming up this weekend. It is going to be an unboxing of Maryland crabs. Yes, I got my Maryland blue crabs. So we will be having Maryland blue crabs this weekend for the holiday. That video will be out tomorrow at some point. It's going to be less than 10 minutes. So take a look at it when it comes out, and I will be back on tomorrow. I'm going to try to do my skating video this weekend, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it this weekend because I had an injury to my upper thigh, and it hurts right now to try to do the crazy legs, which is a skate move. So if I can't do the crazy legs, then I'm not doing the video this weekend. It'll have to wait until next weekend. But I'll be back on tomorrow, you guys. Until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the west side. It is going to be hot out here this weekend. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. I may come on during the day. We'll see how it goes. Depends on how hot it is out there. And I will see y'all then. Peace out.